What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I have a report that just came out about Darius, so let's get it started. Now, first off, today we heard this morning that Richard Sherman was talking about how Darius was like underrated because he plays for Lions or whatever. That's not super important, but anyways, this is what we're going to be talking about, is that Darius has been coming up in trade rumors very, very recently, and the Lions have spoken to multiple teams about a deal for Darius. Now, Darius is on the last year of his contract. He does have 1 year remaining, so he can play for his final year, but if that's the case, he's probably going to be gone for like nothing after that. So their thought is that the Detroit Lions may try to trade him this season. That way they can get something in return for him. The only problem is the win now mandate that's put on the Detroit Lions. It seems like maybe not the biggest win now mandate, just be a playoff contender. However, there is something there, and obviously when you have two very bad seasons, the third year is very important for your coaches and just the staff in general. So with that being said, the Lions have spoken to multiple teams about trading Darius and this is super interesting because this has come out by Bleacher Report, so I'm pretty sure you can actually rely on this one. We've got a lot of reports that are like, yeah, like it was a report, and then all of a sudden it wasn't a report. But this is according to Adam Schefter, and I'm pretty sure you can trust him. But the Adam Schefter said the Detroit Lions have reportedly spoken to multiple teams about a trade for Darius Now, Darius has talked on social media about wanting to get paid a lot for his next extension. Whoever trades for him probably is going to give him an extension. I mean, they don't have to. They could have like a 1 year rental, but they're probably going to pay him. So it's a team that most likely is going to have a little bit of money because they do want to pay him. And he's probably going to be the highest paid cornerback, at least right now. Now, his production isn't bad. Actually, he's one of the better cornerbacks in the league compared to the cornerbacks are getting paid more than him, and that where he's going to get paid after his extension. He's actually okay. Like he's up there with those guys statistically. The question is, the Detroit Lions may not want to pay him. If you guys remember back to Golden Tate, this was the same situation. Detroit Lions didn't want to play Golden Tate. They traded him at the trade deadline. We didn't get a lot in return. I know a lot of people weren't happy. We got like a 3rd round pick, but we didn't want to pay him anyways, so it wasn't a big deal not to keep him because we weren't going to pay him anyways, so at least we got something in return. And this seems like it could be the same scenario here with Darius as the Lions may not want to pay him anyways, so they might as well try to get something in return. So any interested teams would not only have to provide the Lions with an adequate value in return, but it reportedly must also agree to a new deal with So that's what's going on here. They're going to have to pay Darius so they're going to have money too. The cornerback is going into the final year of his current contract with a $13.4 million hit for 2020. Now, for 2020, I think he's fine. I think it makes sense to pay him. He's going to be on his final deal. He's been a really good cornerback. I think it's the next years after that people are worried about when he starts to regress as a player, and then you're still having to pay him a lot of money because he's going to be the highest paid cornerback at his age. That's where the concern is. If he was 4 years younger, I think the Lions would actually extend him. Now, this doesn't mean the Lions are going to trade him, okay? We kind of knew they were going to be in trade talks, and they're going to be looking for a big deal. They were kind of talking about this at the last trade deadline about possibly looking for somewhere to trade Darius It just never happened. They never came to a good enough deal because they were asking a lot. Their asking price was super high, and I'm assuming it's super high once again. And if some team blows them away with a great offer, then they'll take it. I'm assuming that's how it's going to go. Now, we read the thing on ESPN about Sidney Jones and a 3rd round pick. I think the Lions want more than that. I would say they're going to at least want a 2nd round pick. That's how I'm looking at this. They're probably going to want a 2nd round pick, and then obviously they're going to have to take over that contract. So we'll see what happens, but the Lions are going to want something in return because they're going to have to replace their best cornerback for a season that they need to win in. Because if you lose out on Darius let's just say, for example, Darius is gone, look at your cornerback group, all right? You got Justin Coleman in the slot. Amani's probably going to be your number 1. You're losing Rashawn Melvin. You're losing a lot of guys, Michael Ford. So it's going to be kind of a mess right after you lose Darius So you either need a player return or you need a high draft pick. That way you can go get another player to kind of fill it in. It's going to be really tough anyways, and if this does happen, I would say look out for Jeffrey Okudah to be our draft pick in the 1st round, even if we do trade back, because the Lions would try to replace him just like that, and then whatever pick they also get, they could use elsewhere. So that's what I would say to keep an eye out for. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments below your thoughts, but I just want to give you guys this quick report that the Detroit Lions have talked to multiple teams about trading Darius If it happens, I'll be here. I may not be here, but I may be somewhere, but I'm going to be telling you guys about what went down. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.